Welcome back, Syndicate members. It is I, Joshua Mammoth, back like scoliosis with another independent comic book review. Joining me again tonight is the Queen of the Indies, Rachel.
Hey, how are you doing tonight?
I'm cooler than a polar bear's toenails.
That's
How
a
are
different
you?
one. I don't know if I'm that cool, but I'm pretty good.
Well, tonight we're getting into one that I've really been looking forward
Yes.
to. So, at this year's Ancient City, we picked up a lot of titles, but this one was extra special.
Yes, this one kind of stood out a little bit. One, it's from Jacksonville, so I think that already kind of hits home a little bit. But his story, his energy, everything was just so awesome.
That's true. As many of you know, I am from Jacksonville. And so the cover on this is clearly downtown Jacksonville, Trevor. And that's kind of what I noticed out of the corner of my eye when we were passing Nico's booth. Because when we first got into Ancient City, we saw the indie aisle, but it was packed. So we decided to kind of do a tour around.
Just to kind of see what other vendors were there, what else was going on.
Yeah, and that's when we ran into Nico in his booth there. And that was also our first interview that we filmed.
Yes.
Because he was just awesome.
He really was. And a lot of fun to talk to.
Definitely. I loved the story. I loved, him like turning himself into this character.
Yeah, taking your own life and turning into a comic book, that's just a great idea.
Yeah, and a superhero from Jacksonville, too. Which, we've needed for some time.
Everyone needs a superhero.
Okay, so you ready to get into this biscuit?
Yep, let's dive on in.
Okay, so it starts off with like a little Nico.
Yes, in his little childhood home in Duval City, Florida.
He is watching some type of kung fu movie and kind of emulating the moves as many of us have done in our youth.
Yes, and his mom comes in and is like, "Hey, you got to go to bed. You got school tomorrow."
Yes, and I can say from a kid growing up in Duval County. Ninja weapons were very prevalent at flea markets.
That is true. I don't know why. I think just in Florida in general. But,
like if you ever needed like a ninja starting kit, the flea market is where you would go. Because,
I agree.
You had the throwing stars there. They had the swords, size, name it.
That's probably why you have a little collection of stuff.
Yeah, I mean they even had caltrops. So I mean some of you may not know what those are, but they're useful. So we may see that in the future.
Moving on.
So in any case, so Nico, he's begging his mom for 5 more minutes.
Yep.
10 minutes later, she's telling him to go ahead and get in bed.
Yeah, because she's like, "You missed that bus? No, that's it."
Now, we don't know if he missed the bus because it fast forwards to years later.
Yes, but with a mom like that, I'm pretty sure he got on that bus.
And what I liked about this, too, is the apartment number here.
Oh, I know, 904. What a good homage to Jacksonville area code.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And so Nico is getting ready to go to a tournament today.
Yep, and this is adult Nico, it looks like. And it looks like his brother's there about to get ready, too. And they just head off to this tournament.
And when they get into the tournament, they have to sign in.
Yep, they're looking for the registration booth.
Right, looking for registration. Mm-hmm. And so this is what I like about this comic, too, is there's a lot of background work going on here.
There really is. You can see all of the kind of the participants, the audience, everything in the background, just like you normally would in a tournament like this.
And we can kind of see what appears to be maybe a future, I almost don't want to say enemy, but rival of Nico. And so they're signing up, and then so the first event is martial arts weapons.
Yes, where it's almost, you can do it to music apparently. We're not too sure if it is, but in my mind, I like to think it is. But he's using nunchucks with this, which, again, that's just amazing. And he's blindfolded, which I couldn't even handle a nunchuck without hitting myself.
I forgot that the flea markets had nunchucks, too. So
Yeah, that's why I know I'd hit myself in the face with those.
so most Jacksonvillians are proficient with nunchucks. We got them from young. Okay, anyway, so Nico goes in and he starts performing this blindfold.
Yes, very impressive, and the art with him describing it is even more impressive.
I loved it actually. The art and the way that it went back and forth, showing him, using the nunchucks and
doing kicks and spinning, and yeah, it was amazing.
It was really amazing, and he ends up taking the blindfold down and to basically cover his nose and mouth.
Because he's going to do a little bit more detail where I definitely think you'd have to see, because it looks like he's doing some kind of running jump kicks, and I mean, again, super impressive the way he drew that.
And so this particular scene is the first time that he's referred to as Ninja Nico by his brother Jay.
Yes, because he does look just like a ninja like that. It looks pretty cool.
And so afterwards, he obviously wins first place for this.
Yes, rightfully so.
Like, hands down. Like, how are you going to refute this? And also, one thing I want to point out, I love the trophies.
Oh, I know. They look so cool. It almost looks like a, temple kind of
like a little
thing.
Statue type thing.
I love it.
It's awesome. And so I was really cool. I thought that was a good idea. And then this is where we meet his actual rival for the first time.
Yes, for the competition that they're going to do, the fighting competition that he's going to do, and he meets his opponent Clyde.
I like to think that he's like the William Zabka of this competition.
He does have a lot in common with him, as we'll see.
Yeah, because I kind of got a Johnny Lawrence vibe from this guy a little bit.
Yes, and yeah, I could definitely see that. He does give the bully vibe. I could definitely see. Yes, bully.
Okay. We'll agree to disagree on that one.
But yeah, so they get into the competition and they square up, and here they go.
So Nico impressively knocks this guy down in 3 seconds.
Yes, the first 3 seconds. And wow, what a hit.
What a hit indeed, but unfortunately the ref calls Nico out for punching too hard. Is that a thing?
I didn't know it was a thing, but apparently it is, because he gives him a warning and was like, hey, I will disqualify you, not only from this, but like...
It wasn't an illegal hit.
No, just, and
hey, he still
really
got the points, but can you really control... Like, I mean, if you're in a competition, I thought that's what you did.
That was the point.
So
they start up again for the next round, if you'd say. And, wow, same thing happens. Nico gets another amazing punch in.
So what's funny though is the ref yells at him again for hitting too hard.
Yes, he's like, hey, I'm going to give you one more warning. Like, this is it. You can't do this. And Nico's like, okay, I'm going to try to hit not as hard. Like, again, how do you do that? But
and he refers to the weight training. I guess, like when you hold the weights and you're punching with the weights.
He's like, maybe this just is really helping, which, again, I thought that was the point of fighting, but... but yeah, so unfortunately we see that Clyde's dad, though, he is not happy with this.
Well, how could he be? Like, he's already gotten scored on twice.
Yeah, so he's yelling at him, telling him, hey, you better get it together. And that's exactly kind of what he does.
And, that's one thing I do really like about Ninja Nico is the back and forth here with Clyde.
Yes.
This was really good. The overall punches, the blocks, the parries.
It was definitely not a one-sided fight. They were
not
definitely going back and forth.
In fact, Clyde gains the upper hand slightly, but unfortunately, he gets some unsportsmanlike conduct points taken away.
Yes, because unfortunately, unlike Nico, who hits too hard, apparently Clyde just can't keep his mouth shut, and he says very unsportsmanlike things to Nico, and the ref is not having it.
No, hold on now. The ref doesn't know anything about Clyde, so for him to even say that is speculation. Because what if the dude has Tourette's? I'm just throwing it out there.
Always defending the bullies.
I'm just throwing it out there. But we see in the next scene, though, what does Nico do? A backhand?
So, yes, and this is, again, one of my favorite parts. Nico does this amazing, like, backhanded kind of punch, which apparently, though, is illegal in the sport. So he gets no point for that, and again, he gets a little reprimanded.
But he didn't know the backhand was illegal, and I mean,
ignorance is not a defense.
No, it's not. It's not. But just hear my point, though. A backhand would be less damaging than a regular punch.
I don't know.
Maybe he was like, all right, well, my regular punch is too much for this guy. Let me just backhand him then.
I don't know. Backhand, I mean, that can, well, if it's force in it. I'm just saying.
Well, you can, yeah. I'm not saying you can't be hurt by it. I'm just saying a regular punch would hurt more.
That's true. Well, I guess they end up fighting again, and, well, Clyde at least gets him back a little bit, because he gets an amazing punch in, unfortunately, to Nico. Or not even a punch, excuse me, a kick to Nico.
And this was cool, too, because every time we turn the page, it's really going back and forth for a while.
You don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, most of the comic is the actual competition. Mm-hmm. And I found that to be pretty awesome.
Oh, yes, because, again, the fight scenes were amazing.
Yeah, the fight scenes were great.
And, again, they just keep going back and forth, but then Nico gets this just ultimate finisher kick, like something you see out of, like, you know,
it was a
Street
jump
Fighter.
Kick.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was a jump kick to his stomach, I believe. And that was it.
Yeah.
Because I think actually he did a kick to the stomach earlier, like a few pages earlier.
He did, and then he got a kick to like his face, and then the last kick was the ultimate one to the stomach.
And that's what called it quits.
Yep, and that was his finishing, and won another competition.
And Clyde's dad was not very happy about that.
No, but he actually did blame Clyde. He said it was obviously because of your mouth, the reason why you didn't win. So, something to learn, I
guess technically if he hadn't had the points taken away, he would have won that, yeah.
Yeah, because it would have been over, but yeah, he just couldn't stop talking.
Well, hey, like I said, maybe he has some type of condition.
Hey, we all have that problem.
Yeah. So, afterwards, Nico approaches Clyde.
Yes.
And, you know, he says, hey, man, you almost got me there. That was a good fight.
Good fight. You know, just kind of congratulations and everything else. But Clyde did not want to hear that.
Well, because he got backhanded, you know.
Well, he thought it wasn't a fair fight because he said you did illegal moves and you know, too much force and this and that. And it wasn't fair that I got reprimanded or points taken away for just talking. And so Clyde just was not happy.
But that's the thing. That was a weak argument because Nico got points taken away for a move that was illegal.
Oh, I agree with Nico all the way.
I mean, I think Clyde was embarrassed because he got straight up pimp slapped. He took that pimp hand from Nico and
see, that's a force on it.
He couldn't handle it after that. He felt emasculated.
Yeah, I think he would, because, man, the blood coming out, it was crazy. But, yeah, well, in this, I think Nico has an enemy now, because Clyde is not happy. But it seems to really bother Nico that Clyde does not like him.
Well, because, you know, most guys, you know, once they fight, you know, win or lose, if it's a really good fight, yeah, we come together at the end. We don't really care. I mean, granted, we all want to win, but if it's a really close fight, especially in a point competition.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the difference. Was Clyde didn't feel like it was a good fight.
Oh, maybe that is.
That's why. But either way, unfortunately, Nico won. So
I mean, he did take that backhand pretty strong. I'm just saying.
But yeah, so him and his brother are walking out, and it's like, you know, hey, you were awesome. Let's get back home. And apparently, it's like a 2.5 hour drive. So who knows where they're at? Maybe Daytona, maybe Orlando. But,
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so they get back into Jacksonville area, and they get to their house, you know, and family comes out, and it's kind of, oh, we're so glad you're home kind of thing.
Well, they're planning a huge party.
Yes. So, you know, Nico's like, you know what, let me grab a sandwich, let me, you know, take a quick nap, and I'll, you know, get up in a little bit. So that's what he does. His mom fixes him a sandwich, you know, and then he goes and was able to take a quick nap. His brother gets him up. It's like, you gotta come see this party.
Yeah. Well, first off, the DJ setup here.
Amazing.
I was highly impressed. Yeah.
I know. I want to be at this party.
Yes. But, well, first, hey, Trevor, you got that picture? Can overlay my former DJ days here.
I love it.
So yeah, I was really impressed by that. But then Nico not only is a martial artist, but he's also a breakdancer.
I know, impressive skills.
Very impressive. I mean, he makes like Rocksteady Crew look pretty bad. So and also, I want to point out the lighting on this particular scene here is really, really good.
It was definitely one of my favorite pages because you really did feel that you were in like almost like a rave kind of party club kind of situation, and I thought that was awesome.
It was with the paneling, and then it looked like there was overlay of colors on the panel, so it kind of looked like maybe it was rotating lights or
and like the lasers
sort.
Kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. I thought it was really
I really
creative.
liked that too.
But yeah, so Nico finally decides, you know what? Peace out. I've had the party. I'm gonna go chill in my room for a little bit, and his brother actually follows him.
But see, that's the good thing. You always leave on a win.
Yes.
He went out there, he tore it up, and he's like, you know what? I'm done.
Yep. Go out like a bandit. I like it.
Unfortunately, though, his brother Jay had a little too much, and they're in the room together, and he bumps into a dresser, knocking one of the trophies over on the floor.
Yes. And it unfortunately breaks the trophy.
It breaks the trophy. The head rolls off, revealing a scroll. Now, before we get into the scroll, too, I wanted to point out something that Jay said as well. It's like, well, why are you keeping something so valuable on the flimsy dresser?
I completely agree. But he literally just got it. So, I mean, maybe he's trying to figure out, okay, where am I going to put it in the room? He's trying to figure out the feng shui of it all.
Where am I going to put it on? I will put it on the most unstable piece of furniture.
Well, he didn't know his brother's going to come in and knock it over immediately.
I have a feeling this is not the first time Jay has came in and knocked something off that dresser.
It's a good thing that he does because, well, I mean, I hope it's a good thing that he does because with the next scene, they take out that little scroll from the statue.
And I love the seal on this scroll. This was really cool. I love the concept of this. Trevor, it's basically if you take a look at it, it kind of looks like space.
Yes, and it's almost like wrapped around the scroll, and he presses it because it almost seems like a little seal, like a button almost.
Right.
And a little G comes out, and he's like, what? And that's when everything changes. You see this crazy, like, whirlwind of the same kind of space material all around.
That's what looked awesome, is this, like, the space type of energy or something. I'm not really sure how to even describe it. Trevor, throw that up there again. And I don't know, like, I just thought it was really awesome.
It really was. And then it really started to levitate him off the floor, which that's even scarier in itself because now it's actually got the...
And, of course, Jay's freaking out.
Wouldn't you? I think I would. But then it all of a sudden drops him, but he doesn't hit the floor like we would think.
No, he ends up, like, levitating a few inches off the floor, and this, like, energy is, like, permeating from him.
And another one of my favorite pages of the book because it is just so awesome how he conveyed that energy that was flowing out. I just thought that was amazing. And again, we'll put that up there for you.
And what a splash page, too, to end on.
It was great. And unfortunately, that is the end. Oh, man, I was like, they should have gotten that second one. But that's okay because we are going to go pick that up here on the 18th.
So at Collectors World Con, Nekoe Smith is going to have a booth there, syndicate member. So if you're in the Orlando area on November 18th, you definitely want to stop by.
Yes.
And tell them Joshua Mammoth sent you. Actually, I'll be stopping by myself, so I'll be in there looking around. We're going to pick up number 2, hopefully. And hopefully maybe some other ones. I don't know who's all going to be there yet, but I do know Nico's going to be there, and that's why we're going back.
Definitely.
And so you guys should also check that out. So when this book, when this actually ended, I felt the same way. I was like, oh man, I really want to know what happens.
I know, because it really just kind of left it at the end of, oh my gosh, is this like a new power? Is it a gift? Is it a curse? Like, what's happening? Is Nico going to survive even? Like, what's happening?
And the issue number 2 is really good too. I mean, the cover on it looks amazing. It looks really good. So I'm excited to get into that one. So are you ready for our breakdown?
Let's get
Our
ready.
special analysis.
Favorite part?
So, Ninja Niko, what are your likes about this? What are your first like?
Well, I think my first like is that I like that it was based in Jacksonville. I just thought that was really cool. I always love local stuff, and of course Jacksonville's always close to us anyways. But the fact that it's in Florida, it's obviously got a lot of Jack stuff in the backgrounds, and I just thought that was fun.
Yeah, I agree. That was a really good idea, and I put that I liked Clyde because he reminded me of William Zabka.
Oh goodness, that's funny. I actually, I didn't like Clyde so much. I kind of maybe understood Clyde a little bit, but I wasn't a big fan. I actually liked his brother though, because again, like what a good hype man.
Oh, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He throws him a
Nico's
party.
brother.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not Clyde's brother. Now, Nico's brother. I thought he was so cool because he was such a good hype man.
He was.
He threw him an awesome party. Like. I just loved it.
Yeah, like he had his back. He was,
he went to the competition with him. He filmed him. Everything was great.
Yeah, that was awesome. I liked that most of the issue was the competition.
Oh yes, and it was really cool to see all the different fight scenes and the way that he really demonstrated that. I mean, you could really tell the punch and that the face would almost be smushed in a little bit from it. I thought that was really cool. I actually like the fact that he got confidence from the blindfold when it kind of went down. I kind of almost feel that's what made him punch harder because, he was just like, man, I'm a ninja, like I got extra power. And
and then everybody was kind of like calling him Ninja Niko after the weapons demonstration. So
that's like a huge ego thing. So I can kind of see that's why he's like hitting so much harder because he's like, man, I'm like, I'm the man,
he's like, I'm the best. All right.
I love the scene. But definitely. Well, what did you really like about it?
The first thing I really liked was the hidden scroll in the trophy.
That is cool. I really like that idea.
It kind of was like I don't know, maybe a martial arts movie from like the 80s or something.
Like martial arts meets Indiana Jones.
Kind of. It falls down and the scrolls reveal. And I do like the fact that you don't really know what happened to him yet. We're assuming that it's good.
Right. I'm hoping that it's good and it is a gift. But yeah, what if it is a curse? Because even sometimes the superheroes that we've already known and love, sometimes they're not always a good thing to have those powers all the time. So.
And maybe it makes him evil.
Oh. I didn't even think about that.
Maybe he I don't know, grows an evil twin like Ash.
Oh no, not the evil twin.
So the next thing I put was, I really liked Niko's mom's insights.
Actually, yeah, so she was actually the thing that I loved about it. I just loved that one, she was so supportive, but in the same sense, she's like, yeah, you better get your cardio together. Like, I just thought that was so real. I
loved it where she said, a peaceful mind brings no war.
I thought that was the best quote. I was like, I'm going to write that down.
Yeah.
I like that.
What did you really like about this biscuit?
So... I actually really like the illegal backhand. I just thought that was great. I can't believe that was illegal. I was like, oh man, that was such a good move.
And he got him.
He did. But that's also why I loved it. And that was another thing I really liked about the book was the art style. The way that he was able to demonstrate all the fighting skills, the colors that he used, the different shadings, everything. I thought that was so impressive.
The angles too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You really kind of felt like you were the ref or you were almost in there fighting with him because the different angles he used were different. I loved it.
Yeah, I definitely thought that the art was spot on this book. It matched perfectly with the story.
Yes.
And I give it 2 thumbs up because it was that good.
Oh, it really was.
You know what? I really like the illegal backhand too.
We would. But that's the thing is, I really like the beginning part too, where he was doing the musical weapons competition with the nunchuck. I just like those kind of competitions anyways, but the way they were demonstrated in the book, I was like, wow, that looks amazing. And I kind of had a little song in my head going on. I really liked it.
I also put that I really liked how he got the Ninja Niko name. It was from his brother saying, "Oh, you look like a ninja when you pulled that."
Yeah, it just kind of happenstance kind of thing, and I kind of really like that.
And then everybody started like chanting it and everything. Yeah, it really caught on. Okay, so loves. What did you love?
Oh, so again, I love the fight scenes. I just thought they were amazing. The detail. I mean, you were seeing the blood and everything go. I mean, that was really cool.
I love the Jacksonville superhero. Yes. Hometown superhero.
We're hoping superhero.
We're assuming superhero. But yeah, I did love the Jacksonville aspect too. Cause that's what I kind of noticed too when we were walking by his booth. I'm like, wow, that looks eerily familiar.
You're like, wait, I can't quite place that yet. Yes, and I also again loved just his mom. I just thought she was so funny. She was again very insightful at the end, but still like, oh, let me get you a sandwich, let me get you this, but oh, make sure you get your stuff. Even in the beginning, she's like, oh, okay, do that, but you better get to school. Like yeah. Oh my gosh, she's like the perfect mom.
I love the blind nunchuck scene too.
Yes.
That was really, really well pulled off.
Again, because I can't even hold nunchucks by myself without and you're gonna put a blindfold into it.
You need the ones with the foam pads around.
Even then,
yeah, I loved all the combat scenes in general. Like they were all pulled off well. Mm-hmm. They were all pulled off well, and from the angles, the actual tech, the lettering in it.
I know. Again, it just looked. Yes, it looked amazing. And I think the thing I loved the most though was the space seal at the end.
Oh,
I just thought that looked so cool, and just the way again that it just did the whole vortex around the room and around him, and it made him levitate. I just thought that was just incredible.
He was rather brave to think that was just gonna be okay though.
Oh, I did love that he saw this crazy space seal. I was like, I'm gonna press this button. Like, dude, don't press it. I'm glad he did. We got to saw some cool stuff, but yeah, I would not press that button.
I love the jump kick finisher that he pulled off against Clyde.
Amazing. I agree. It was definitely something, I'm telling you, like a Street Fighter, which you're like, oh, finisher.
Because he was able to see the holes in Clyde's form to know exactly when to attack. So Clyde really can't be all that mad for losing, simply because he got Niko got the better of him.
Oh, I agree. It's always hard, sore losers and all. Maybe tomorrow he'll feel different.
Well, a little bit of trash talk never hurts anybody.
Oh man, too funny.
Okay, I loved that Nekoe Smith, the creator of Ninja Niko, used his life experience to make this comic.
Yes, I thought that was so cool when he was telling us about that. I mean, of course, he didn't become an actual superhero with the space seal. I mean, as far as we know. But we do know that he was into Taekwondo and he did competitions. And, of course, his brother, who was actually there at the con also, just supporting him again. So I thought that was really cool.
And we had not only the on-camera interview, but I talked to Niko off-camera as well. And Giancarlo Esposito. Mm-hmm. What do you know about him?
I didn't know a whole lot before, but he's actually going to be the villain in the next book. So I guess maybe Ninja Niko isn't going to be the villain.
So Niko met him at another con. Yes. And I guess they had such a good vibe together that he's allowing Niko to use him as a character to play the villain in his book. And so he's from Breaking Bad fame.
Yes, which unfortunately it's not usually my demographic of watching stuff. But of course I know what Breaking Bad is. But I thought that was so cool of the actor to let him do that. Like,
I did too. That was really awesome. And so we'll put some overlays. He sent me, Trevor, he sent me these pics here.
Yes.
And I was like, man, this guy here, man, I wouldn't be able to say no to him either. He's so friendly.
Oh, I know. That's why the guy said yes. He's like, of course, why would I say no to you?
So unfortunately you have to go to the Collector's Con in Orlando I think it's at Doubletree.
Yeah, it's at the Doubletree by Hilton in Orlando at SeaWorld. So it's like right off there on I-Drive and all of that. So it's not too far from, like downtown Orlando.
And it's a relatively inexpensive con, too.
Oh, I think it was like $10.
Yeah. $10.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then it's a cheap con.
It really is.
You could, because honestly, the Daytona con was also an inexpensive one, too. And, man, we found some good finds there. So we're looking forward to it, because I'm looking forward to seeing Nico again, picking up some more issues. We have a signed poster on our fridge that he gave us.
Yes, and we love that.
Yeah, it's awesome. So we'll have all the Collector's World Con information down below. So make sure you check it out, and all the information we have on Nekoe Smith, that'll also be down below. So do you have anything else you want to add?
No, just really enjoyed this book. I thought it was a great read. I really cannot wait to pick up the second one. We'll definitely probably review that one too.
Yeah, I can't wait to dive into that second one. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens right after the events of the scroll.
Oh, I know. I can't wait to see what powers he's going to have, what happens. Is it good? Is it bad? What are we going to do?
Definitely. All right, Syndicate members, between the known and the unknown lies the man. I'll see you next time.